First, I was accused of neglect and starving and dehydrating my children. That's easy to see. You can see if they're starving or dehydrating, and it was never founded evidence at all. And those got ruled out pretty quickly. But my ex saw that if she did it by proxy, she could take away my parental rights until I can get back into court. And then when you get back into court, the opposing counsel says I don't have anything open, and then it keeps delaying it for months. But when you finally get into court, you get your children back. And I always got my children back. They just never gave me the time back that was taken by precaution. And so that's why I came out with a bill that passed through Texas, unanimous, bipartisan, in the first time, called Time Taken, Time Back, to stop those false allegations. And when they return the child, they shall return the time. I was just a parent, just like everyone else. I didn't know law. Because of this, I had to learn civil law, criminal law, constitutional law, and figure it out. Like I said, I spent about $700,000 just to be able to be in my children's life. And in doing so, a lot of attorneys practice law. I lived it, and so do all the people going through this. This is a life or death thing for people. This is their children. This is their parental rights on the line, each hearing, each trial. And I don't think the courts understand how stressful this is, not only to the parents, but especially for the children. Because of the courts and me going through this, and it took 10 years to get to final trial, I learned a lot of things. And I saw the games that were played and all the legal loopholes that the court system has. I could have went back after my judge and all the other people in this, but I didn't. I just wanted my children. We got out of court. I've had them for years. We have joint custody. And so instead of going the legal route and actually going back after my ex for all these false allegations, because now we can prove it, I decided to change the law where she couldn't, or where any parent couldn't weaponize this against another parent or the children. And that's where the Time Taken, Time Back came into play. And so I gave the bill to my senator. And the crazy part is I was just a parent like anyone else. I didn't know the legislation part of this either. I went all the way to President Trump, talked to President Trump, talked to Ted Cruz. They were like, no, we can't do anything for you. You have to go to your state senator to change the laws in your state. And I was like, ugh. I went to my state senator. She submitted the bill, Angela Paxton, and it went through unanimous, bipartisan the first time. And within 6 months, I literally could change the law for 30 million Texans all at once. After I came out with the Time Taken, Time Back, and it passed through Texas, someone else wanted it in North Dakota. So I looked at their laws and I was like, wow, I can fit the section code in there. And so I did, and I gave it to them. The legislators loved it, and so it went through their session pretty quick, and it passed also. This is the way to go. This is how to make real change, because the problems aren't being solved. They're a bunch of echo chambers. This is the solution. And so what I did was I came out with robertgarza.us, and I have about 7 or 8 bills on there right now, and I amended them into each state code. So I went into that code, the section code for the state, found out where it fits in their code, change it to fit my bills in, and literally just letting advocates go there. It has, when you click on a bill like Time Taken, Time Back, and you want it for your state, anyone can go to any 50 states can go in there and just click on it, and it gives a very quick section of copy paste email to your legislator saying they want a Zoom call. You set it up, you Zoom me in, you tell them a little bit about your story and that this is the problem and mine is the solution. And all of my bills are only 1-pagers. So you have the email, the background about the bill, and then the bill itself. So right now in the States, the off season is right now. So you can talk to your legislators, but they can't submit a bill until December. And so right now we're getting ahead of the curve and we're talking to legislators. I'm talking to literally 5 or 6 legislators from any random states at any time. And now we're about to go into Australia and Canada also and amend their rules to the same things. This problem is universal. It's not just the states. This is all over the world. In family court, the only way you can separate a child or alienate a child is through a false allegation or interference with child custody. That's where most of this happens. If you can stop that, you can stop most of the problems before they start existing. In the last 6 months, I went ahead and wrote 450 bills amending each state law to each one of those 8 bills. That way, anyone can put this in their state. The laws that I wrote will be in every state legislature going through every state in all 50 states come December. We already have senators, House reps, everybody's excited about it because they have constituents coming to them saying, hey, I have a problem with family court. The problem is the senators and House reps come from nuclear families. They don't understand because they've never been through it. Same thing when you talk to someone about they've been alienated. Unless you go through alienation, you don't understand how bad it is and how bad it feels. I always tell people it's like you're grieving the loss of a living child, like that child is dead. Yeah, they went with the other parent. It does not feel like that at all. And unless you go through this process, you don't understand what alienation feels like. When we're doing this, we're like, hey, let's do a documentary. And we're about to go do one in Colorado, and we just got the news that John Mast had been murdered. And we jumped in a plane and went to Idaho, I believe it was, and interviewed John Mast's parents and brothers and sisters. I think he has about 11 of them. Most beautiful family in the world. Like, I can't even tell you. I get goosebumps just talking about it. His family is amazing. I can't even believe that he had to go through what he went through, having that kind of support. And when we did that, we got over 2 or 3 million views on that video. And we're like, okay, this is the way to go to get awareness out. Because even door knocking, go to 40-something states, we didn't affect millions of people with what we were doing. The problem is with a lot of these, even social media, it's a lot of echoing the same things. I have a problem with my judge, I have a problem with my lawyer, I'm out of funds, now I'm having to go pro se, my kids are alienated, but nobody has a solution for these. I have a solution for it because I went through it. Like the time taken, time back. When you return the child after the allegation's been ruled out and there is no finding of abuse or neglect, who's going to stand up and say, I don't think that child deserves that time back? Nobody. Same thing with the 3 strikes law. Right now, it's a state jail felony in most states in the U.S. the first time that you interfere with someone's child custody. I'm amending that to be 2 misdemeanors before the felony. And so what state senator is going to be like, no, I think they deserve it the first time. And the reason for that is because that's what the law is now, and they're not prosecuting for it because they don't want to jail protective parents. So with me amending that law is actually giving that protective parent 2 chances to go to CPS or go to wherever they need to, a therapist, to get that information they need. So with this law, again, there is no argument for it because you're taking what is now a felony and making it 2 misdemeanors. But the education that I've got out of this taught me what the problems were with family court. The last one, after writing 450 bills, it came to me I can solve perjury, false allegations, and hold the judges accountable all with 1 bill. It raises that preponderance of evidence to clear and convincing. It's such an easy no-brainer, again, that if they get on the stand and they commit perjury, the judge now is going to say, show me the proof. If they do a false allegation, the judge is going to say, show me the proof. Right now, it's like, it sounds more true than less true. Now, I've just gotten rid of false allegations and perjury, and the beautiful part of the bill is that in the bill, if the judge is going to rule anything, it says in there that they have to say why they ruled and what evidence they used to rule this with. That is going to change everything. The sad part about false allegations and this domestic violence stuff is that because they're not prosecuting for perjury or false allegations right now anywhere in the world, this is the problem, and that's what the biggest domestic violence is. If they would stop that, then they could really get to what's going on with the domestic violence. But they're so one-sided right now that they can't differentiate between this or that. And domestic violence right now is so high with false allegations, more so than real domestic violence, that, with physical domestic violence. But it's the system that's allowing this. And if you could just change that, it would change everything.